Interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Arsenal 4, Leeds United 0. A massive response from the Gunners in their title race today. Open play goals, set piece again, ole ole, and GYOKERES on the score sheet as well. Arsenal needed this. Every Man United fan needed this. 7 points clear at the top for the Gunners. We're here on the Full Fan Highlight Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. And a big shout out to our title sponsors, NordVPN. You should not be on the internet without protection. It is ridiculous, stupid, and crazy. You need to defend like Arsenal defended today. Strong, impenetrable, tip-top quality, top of the league. That is what NordVPN is. So sign up now. You can scan that QR code in the top corner, or you can click on the link in our live chat or in our description below. But protect your identity online. It's really, really important. And we'll talk a little bit more about them later on the show. But it was a big result today. Arsenal needed a big result. They needed a big performance, and they got that in spades. And to be honest with you, something was really going through my mind a lot during that game. And we're going to speak about it a little bit more. I'm going to wait for the numbers to come through on the live stream. But teams are so scared of Arsenal, aren't they? Like, genuinely, teams are so scared of Arsenal. It's crazy. It really is. And we saw a lot as to why today in that. We've got a super chat here that says, I'm so happy with this performance. Let's keep this momentum for Chelsea. And this here from Yoldanovsky says, once again, own goal, man of the match. Come on, you Gooners. By the way, I think it's really harsh that Noni Madueke is not getting that goal. I think it's really harsh that Noni Madueke, because it was going in. I know the goalie's punched it into his own net, but it was going in. And normally, I know it wasn't a shot, so maybe that's why. But the goalkeeper doesn't want the own goal. Noni Madueke is probably on a goal-scoring bonus, and I thought he played really, really well today. After Man City drew at the Emirates, Arsenal went on a run. Listen, AMT, I could end up being wrong, but I felt the panic from Arsenal fans was over the top. That's why I said it on 3 or 4 different streams last week. I feel that you're in a good place. I feel that you're in a strong place. And I feel your fans should have been a lot more supportive and not panic so much. I stand on that. Thanks for not sitting back, Leeds. Well, this is interesting. Leeds did in the first half. Leeds did what everybody does in against Arsenal in the first half. They just, well, barring Man United, we actually attacked after 20 minutes. But they sat back. And there's a graphic I tweeted on my X which shows the GYOKERES goal. And there's only 4. There was actually 5 Leeds players in their box, but one was right on the edge where the cross was coming from, so he wasn't really in a defensive position. But in the first half, when those crosses and cutbacks were coming in, there's 8, 9, 10 men in the box. So the cross has to not just be the most perfect cross or cutback ever. You have to also hope that 6, 7, 8, 9, sometimes even 10 outfield Leeds players all defend poorly at the same time. It's so difficult to do. So I hear you on that. Thank you, by the way, to Butterlord for becoming a new member on the show today. But look, I want to start off by talking Arsenal because we have to. And for me, what really stood out today is Arsenal came back with a bang, a real bang. And they've sent a serious message to Manchester City, which is we're not collapsing. We're not crumbling. We are not falling apart as the mainstream media, as some of our own fans have suggested. We've had a blip, which is normal, and most title-winning teams have them. They've gone away to Leeds today, a team that almost got something away at Man City, but scored 2 goals. A team that was very good against Man United, especially in the opening 30 minutes of the game, beat Chelsea. Okay? Was very unlucky recently not to beat, in a cup game, Newcastle away. A very hard team to beat, a really good run with loads of games without losing for Leeds United of late. But let's be blunt about this. Arsenal pinned them back. They nullified the crowd. They removed the team's intensity. And they scored 1, 2, 3, 4 goals. That is nothing short of emphatic. That is a response. That is a response to losing to Manchester United. And I'm going to get into it on a more footballing level in a moment, but I want to speak about the mentality to begin with. This is what I call mentality monsters. This is what I call the world and his dog are begging for you to collapse and crumble. You've got a percentage of Arsenal fans that don't want to win the league, the Arteta outers. Of course, you've got Arsenal's real rivals, Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans, Tottenham fans, West Ham fans. You've got people that don't like the online Arsenal fan base, which is basically everybody. You've got the mainstream media that are always on the attack. And the whole week, the lies about the open play goals. 17th worst team in the league for open play goals. Lie. That's percentage of goals. But they now today move on to 22, maybe even 23 goals from open play. It depends if you count at least 22. It could be 23 because the first goal, there was a free kick, a corner, it gets cleared. I don't know how long after a ball's been cleared does it become an open play goal. I don't quite know how they differentiate that statistically. But Arsenal move on to 22 goals from open play, which puts them into like 4th place in the league for most goals from open play, right? And only 2 goals behind the team that are in 2nd place. So this lie all week that Arsenal don't score enough goals, crazy. Of course, all the stats about the players not scoring in open play or scoring goals nullified today, especially with GYOKERES' goal. People hoping and praying for the collapse. They've come out and have answered that. And it was a really tough week for Arsenal players, but everything Arteta said in his press conference has come true. Everything Arteta promised has come true. There was some great rotation from him. I think starting Kai Havertz was correct. The partnership between him and GYOKERES on Wednesday night, I thought looked excellent. So they've gone for that again. I love the fact that they, even with adversity and Saka being injured in the warm-up, Noni Madueke came in. Again, a lot of trolling, a lot of criticising. The shot the other night was horrendous, but a lot of trolling and criticising to really put him off. And I thought he played very well. I thought he was a threat in the first half. His crossing from set pieces was excellent. And he helped to mastermind those opening 2 goals. And I still think it shouldn't be an own goal and the goal should go. It should be an Olympico and it should belong to Madueke. I loved how Arsenal were more direct in this game. And they were getting that ball very early into Victor GYOKERES, whose hold-up play today I thought was very good. Sometimes some one-touch, like first-time one-touch layuffs to his teammates. Other times he was holding up and bringing others into play. And I like the directness. I like the changes. I think keeping Odegaard on the bench after some bad performances sends a message. I also liked when the likes of Odegaard came on, there wasn't a drop of intensity. They were sending a message today. And as I sat here and said to you, my loyal followers and subscribers, and I've got so much love and respect for you all, don't get downhearted by the lack of intensity in the second half in the Champions League game because you were playing with a handbrake on. There was no need to go crazy in that game. Where today, though, with the world watching, and the pressure building, it was, let's just keep going until the end. The second, the third and fourth goal were great bits of play. I thought Martinelli came on and was a constant threat. He did very well on the left-hand side, an excellent cross. And as I've already said today on the Football Terrace, as soon as Leeds decided to open up an attack, there was extra space for you guys to work in. It was a wonderful cross, well read by Victor GYOKERES, gets across his man, scores that open play goal, removes that monkey from his back, removes that little bit of pressure as you're starting to go towards the business end of the season. A late goal as well for Gabriel Jesus to get him on the score sheet. And for me, it was an emphatic and a very, very, very well-deserved victory for Arsenal today. On every single level, 2.39 XG in the game, 14 shots. And the most impressive statistic today, the most impressive fact today is 7 big chances created in this game for Arsenal. I don't think an Arsenal fan out there can ask for more. And if you are asking for more, honestly, I'm going to bitch slap you to wherever you're from. Wherever you're from, I'm bitch slapping your back. Do you know what I'm saying? Because for me, it was as perfect could be. And I do want to say this. I said at the beginning, or if you're watching the playback of this, I said it on the Football Terrace, that I'm at a point now when it comes to Arsenal games where, yes, they're matches, can absolutely be boring. But I think rivals are the reason that Arsenal are being labelled as boring. Because they turn up terrified, they camp deep in their own box, show no ambition, no attacking intent, and it's almost just damage limitations from the first whistle. They don't attack because they're scared stiff of what Arsenal will do in that space, that Arsenal will rip them apart. Let's call it what it is. Fear. It's pure fear. And you saw in the second half, as soon as Leeds said, right, we're 2-0 down now, we have to open up, bish, bash, bosh. So I don't disagree that from a spectacle point of view, Arsenal's games can be hard to watch. But that isn't Arsenal's fault. I think Arsenal being blamed for that is such a boring, banal, overused milk thing to say. I'm not suggesting that teams should do any different because they're going to hurt them. But I see this narrative out there that teams sit back against Arsenal because they don't think they're good at creating chances, and therefore, against a low block, they'll struggle. And I'm like, okay, so you think the Villas and the Cities and the Chelseas and the Uniteds are better in attack overall, better at creating than Arsenal, by and large? Yeah. So what you're telling me is teams fear the Villas and the Cities and the Man United more than Arsenal, yes, but yet open up more against them. For me, that makes zero sense. I also get it from an Arsenal point of view, though. So hear me out here. I get why Arsenal fans, when you're not breaking down the low blocks, get annoyed and frustrated because it's your team and you want to win. But this is why sometimes in life, listening to somebody from outside your realm, someone that isn't emotionally invested, can often lead to making more sense. Because I'm not watching through rose-tinted glasses. I'm watching the spectacle as a neutral to a certain degree. Yes, I want you to stop City winning the league, but I'm seeing it as a neutral. And today, I thought your creativity in the first half was fine. Yes, you only had 2 shots, but why were you not getting those final shots off? Every cross, every cutback, every through ball. 7, 8, 9, 10 outfield Leeds players in their box. So hard to break down. And that's why your set pieces, 1, can be relied on, and 2, should be celebrated by Arsenal fans. Because if you weren't good at them, you might be sitting 6th, 7th in the league. But because you are good at them, because you're great at them, it enables you to open teams up in terms of the scoreline, and then they have to play. Then it becomes damage limitations, and let's go at Arsenal, and you can rip them apart. But again, I thought overall today, the mental response from Arsenal, fantastic. I think Arteta got it spot on, dropped Odegaard, who has been poor, threw in Madueke, no fears when Saka gets injured. I like the direct approach in the game. Of course, brilliant from set pieces. And I predicted you guys to win 3-1 or 3-0, one of the two. I thought you'd win quite well today. I did want 3 set-piece goals from you. That was what I was asking for, just because I love watching grown men cry on X and TikTok about Arsenal scoring set-pieces. It's something about it I find so hilarious. You know, you can watch those videos on YouTube. They're like corpsing videos of actors cracking up laughing. I find those brilliant. This gives me the same sort of comedic feeling in this sort of from a comedy perspective. I watch it and just go, it's hilarious watching grown men cry over it. Set-pieces were great. And then in the second half, do you know what? Leeds went for it. And you've got to give them credit because they were 2-0 down. But Arsenal stood strong for a 10, 15-minute onslaught. Didn't have a lot of the ball. Defended perfectly. And then just started to attacking numbers. They had great intent. Moved the ball brilliantly. Got the third, got the fourth. Could have been 5, 6, 7 in the end if we're being completely and utterly honest. But it was an emphatic response. A message sent to Manchester City. And you know what? I'm going to end my little monologue here by saying this. Arsenal fans, get behind your team. Criticize where criticism is needed. That was a bad performance. That sub was wrong. We need more here. But stop losing your minds. Stop losing your minds and putting unnecessary pressure upon your team. Enjoy the ride. Get behind your team because you're the best you've been for 20 years. You have no idea how good or bad you're going to be next season. So enjoy these games, enjoy these moments, and have some fun with it, for God's sakes. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be fun. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Very, very important to the channel that you get that done. If you've got any hypes left for the week, hype the show up as well, people. It means a lot to me. Now, I'm going to do some super chats. Then we're going to bring up the callers on. We've got, we're not even going to call him Negative Dan today because I know he's going to be buzzing. We've got a Realist Gooner coming on. We've got Saab. We've got Anton. We've got Dayo. It's not panel today. It's calls today, just because there's not long before the Chelsea game. I know you all want to watch that as well. Thank you, by the way, to Red Army Reloaded for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace today. It means a great deal to us. Great response today. Arsenal fans, keep calm. Yeah, listen, I agree. I do think there is a difference between keeping calm and not criticising. And I don't think you should not criticise your football team when they need it. Arsenal were the worst team ever to beat Leeds 4-0 on a Saturday. Hit the like. Thank you, Luke Skywalker, for encouraging everybody to hit that like button for us today. It means a lot to me. It really does. Remember, so many rival fans said Arsenal will drop points today. Where are they? Yeah, I hear you. Terry, your voice is cracking from 2 or 3 days. Fix it. I don't know what you mean. My voice is just getting old. I'm an old man now. I was out walking my dog earlier today, and I was on these like little public walkways on the farmland you're allowed to walk on, and I come across the farmer, and he's chatting away, and he's like, "Oh, we'd have to, come over for some dinner soon." And I was like, "Yeah, lovely, cheers, nice." Get over him with a lovely big drum of an house. It's great. And then I'm walking home, and I'm thinking, a man in like his mid to late 50s just said, like, invited the family around for dinner. I'm like, I'm old now, aren't I? Because 10 years ago, no one that age is inviting me around for dinner. Yeah, I'm fucking old. Zubimendi goal, 5 Arsenal players in the box. Yes, it was 5 Arsenal players in the box, but what Leeds did, they pushed out. And it was the first time you had a cross come in that box in the first half that didn't have a massive white shirts around your players. If they hadn't have stepped out, they'd have probably blocked it. So numbers matter. Thanks for not sitting back. Leeds is what a Gooner Gallery says here. Big up to all the super chats and all the people that have liked and shared the show so far. It means a great deal. Right, we're going to jump into our calls here. First on the show, we're going to go to Ash to hear what he has got to say. I'm going to make sure that hopefully this will actually, let me get my earphones in. So I won't be able to hear the lads speak. Lads. We won today. I'm back on loan now. Sorry what I had to do to you, man, last week, but back on loan today. I got a lot of stick actually at football today because there's quite a lot of Gooners that go where my kids play football. And yeah, it was great. It was great fun today. It's great fun. Right. Ash is first on the show with us here. How you doing, Ash? Big win for Arsenal today.
Big up. Can you hear me, by the way?
Perfect, bro. Perfect.
Yeah. Big win. Amazing, man. This is exactly the reaction we were asking for. He did say that we're gonna play football with a lot more enjoyment, and it was clear from, even though he didn't say it out loud, but there was a clear subliminal message, which is we're going to be a lot more attacking. We're going to go for it a lot more. And we've seen it. Like, I know, obviously, Terry and his team clipped me up last time saying, I'm glad it's a loss. I don't know if the context was given, but basically, yeah, I think the loss against United hurt him more than a draw would have done against United, right? And obviously, you could see that the players were hurt. You could see the manager was hurt by it. And the same way how I criticize him for the previous games, I will praise him for today, because we showed a lot of attacking intent from minute one. Like the way we were pressing, the way we were committing players forward, some of the risky passes we were making in our half to try and go forward and go forward intensity. That's the biggest change I've seen today. The speed of football we were playing with. There was, I was saying this in the first half, there was 30 seconds left to the end of the half, to the end of stoppage time. Raya claims the ball. We're 2-0 up. He could have easily slowed down and said, okay, let's keep the ball. The referee's going to blow. He claimed the ball and immediately threw it forward for a quick counterattack. We haven't seen this at all season. So for anyone saying, oh, yeah, it's just opposition. No, it's how they play. It isn't how they play. Liverpool play against low blocks more often than us. Like Sky Sports released that data 2 days ago. So we do play low blocks, yes, but that's the low blocks are not the reason why we've been slow. So incredible change today, man. Like everyone was on it. Obviously, sad news about the soccer thing. I hope it's nothing serious, but Madueke has stepped up big time with his dribbles. We always knew he could dribble, but I thought he was also making good decisions in the end with some of his crosses. Obviously, the corner he took was amazing. The cross to Zubimendi was fantastic and well timed. Everyone, Odegaard coming off the bench, just electric. Again, if it was the manager changing the system and the manager giving him a kick up the ass? I don't know, but we clearly saw an intensity. And I think now Odegaard is also seeing that, listen, like my spot is not safe. Like if Havertz can come back and play in the 10, this is not going to be safe for me. So he also like played incredibly well. Good to see both our strikers that played today up top and scoring. I was doing the watch along with Saad, and when Martinelli came on to play right wing, I'm like, oh my God, why are we doing this shit again and playing him right wing? And he shut me up in 2-3 minutes with a beautiful like cut and then cross with his weaker foot. So fantastic football. I'll just say this. If we play this way from here until the end of the season, there is no chance in hell City catch up with us, because we have the best squad in the league. We have the best team in the league. We have one of the best starting 11s in the league. And we don't have shit attackers, contrary to what a lot of people say. They've not been playing well, whether it's system or players. I'm not going to get into that now. We have very, very good attackers. I would say one of the best attacking depths in the league, if not the best.
Yeah.
And we just need to let them play it that way. So amazing performance, man. And this is not an easy Leeds team to play, by the way.
It's certainly not. And do you know what I'd say, Ash? First of all, on the clip, the context would have been there because all the clips KJ puts out are always between.
I know. I watch it.
They're like 8 and 15 minutes long, so like definitely the context will be in there if they watch it. But I agree with you that sometimes, and I learned this not through my own sporting background, business or watching football. I learned this watching the Mighty Ducks. And in D3, when they draw a game 8-8, the coach says, I would have preferred a loss. And I always remember thinking, why? And then he said, like, watching as a viewer, why? And then the dean of the school says, why do you want to lose? He said, sometimes in life you learn more from losing than you do from winning or drawing a game. And there is truth in that. I know that's a Disney movie, but it stuck with me from a young child. And that's why I agree with what you said, that I think it might have been, I felt that this loss wasn't the beginning of a crumble against Man United. I felt it would have been a shot of adrenaline, a kick up the backside, give you a further impetus to move forward. Especially with the way you saw the Arteta outers jump on it like a nitty. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I need a fix. They needed that fix because they know it ain't coming back. I think they just they knew for a week they could jump on it, create the negative energy they love and thrive on. Because I don't think they really truly believed that you would stay down. And you won in the week. You smashed it today. You've got Chelsea next. In terms of, I want to ask you about Victor GYOKERES today. What did you make of Victor GYOKERES overall, not just the goal?
Look, I've always said this from the beginning, and I know it sounds it might sound very silly, but I've always said if he scores in a game and we win that game, I'll happily say he had a good game, regardless of whatever else he did on the pitch. Because I know why we got him. We got him because we want him to be an elite finisher. We want him to be at finishing the chances we used to create and the other strikers never finished before. And before he scored that goal, he was having some few good touches here and there, but that chance he missed was a very bad miss, in my opinion. And I said this to some others after the Kairat Almaty goal, because you saw the goal he scored against Kairat Almaty when he made that run. And I said if he gets that same run in the Premier League, he doesn't score it. Because the centre-backs in the Premier League, unlike the Kairat Almaty defenders, are quick and strong. They'll catch up and they'll block the angle like Murillo did and like what happened today. So he could have easily put his head down, could have let it get his confidence. He didn't. Martinelli put in a beautiful cross and then he ended up finishing it. I like the stuff he did outside the goal as well. A couple of good touches here and there, battling physically with the defenders and the players and linking up play. I still don't think he's our best striker. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna let this one game suddenly sway me. I don't think he's our best striker. I don't think he's our best option up top. But if he scores and we win games, I think that's fine. And I think this change that we saw today will definitely suit him. He clearly likes more intense, fast-paced games. He definitely likes that. He likes to break a lot more and make those kind of runs. So it suits him for sure. We need to continue playing that kind of style. But he's still not my number one striker. But I am open to changing my mind, obviously.
I hear that. I was just looking at his numbers here, though. It's in his last 6 games. In his last 6 games, he has 4 goals and 2 assists. I mean, from an output point of view, again, he may not be Wayne Rooney or Henry in terms of his overall play, but if he can continue getting goals and assists at the rate that he is, or averaging 1 a game like in the last few matches, he's gonna pay back what you paid for him. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's a real important part. Ash, listen, mate, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll see you on the next one.
See you.
Top man, thank you very much, bro. Saad is on with us now. What you saying, my friend?
I tell, man, where do I start, bro? I'm excited. I'm gassed. I feel like I've got good football back at my club again. I mean, today you could just see the intensity and the speed that we were playing at, and it was completely different to what we've been watching. And I'm going to start off with a negative just to get out of the way. And the only negative is why now? Why couldn't we be playing like this before? But I think that's a very good lesson that you learned on
the Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks.
No, well, not cartoons. The movie with Joshua Jackson and the guys. Yeah, like great films. Great films.
Yeah, I think that is a good lesson, because sometimes it is like you need to lose to learn, like to remember what you're fighting for or what you want to achieve, and that loss taking you a bit further away from it than a draw does. Because a draw, you can always look at a draw as, oh yeah, you know what, it's we still got a point out of it. You know what I mean? We're still going to. You get no points with a loss. But today, just going back to the positives, I think Zubimendi was excellent. A lot of the players, Timber, Zubimendi, Madueke, Havertz, that whole right side was absolutely brilliant today. The left side as well. In the first half, I think the left side was a bit. It wasn't really happening on the left side. A lot of our attacks were going down the right side, and rightly so, because I think the left back that was having a bit of a mare at times with Madueke, because Madueke was just twisting, turning, trying to get through. A couple of times it didn't work, but a couple of times it did, and he was attempting. Do you know what I mean? And keep on going at your left back, keep on going at your defender, and yeah, I think it was brilliant from us in that first half. And in order to get the 2 goals, listen, I do think it's a bit unlucky for him to get that own goal, because I feel like if it's on target, I know, like you said, it's not a shot technically, but listen, if it's put into a, because how do we know that it's not a shot? Because technically he's trying to shoot, but it's also putting it into an area.
I think what will eventually happen with that goal. Yeah, I think what will eventually happen with that goal, I think it's called the dubious goals panel will eventually give it. Will eventually give it. I mean, it's going in. It's going in. So yeah. I don't quite get why it was given as an own goal. Darlow doesn't want the own goal against his name either. So there's going to be no appeal against it. But no, I agree with you. The right hand side, there was great attacking football. There was more intent. What did you make of the return of Kai Havertz, both in the Champions League game and then again today? How impressed have you been with his return to the Arsenal first team?
Yeah, really impressed. The thing is, I was saying this in the group chats, and I was saying this to everybody, because everybody was like to me, calm down. Because I actually said I would love to see both of them play together, GYOKERES and Havertz. I just want to see what that looks like. And I want to see Havertz in that 10 position, just to see what happens just behind the striker, to see how he can handle it, what it would look like. And listen, a lot of people laughed at me in the group chats. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people laughed at me. But when we came to the Karat Almaty, it was like, okay, they're not the best side. They are a below average side, but I'm not looking at the team and oh, look at how many goals he's. I'm looking at the mentality. I'm looking at the mindset and what he's attempting. I'm looking at the passes that he's attempting, how he's moving forward with the ball, the how he's looking for players and able to find players. His physical presence in that position as well. It means a lot, because he can shrug off certain players and be like, no, I'm keeping the ball and I'm going to move into a lane, or I'm going to get the ball into an avenue where you can get onto it. And we saw that again today against Leeds, where he was getting the ball at times. He was shrugging off the defender and he was able to get on the half turn and then able to just make something happen. Obviously, it wasn't as good as the Karat Almaty game, but he still showed that there is, there's a ways to go. He is still somebody who's just come from a really bad injury, and it has had setbacks, by the way, on the way to coming back. And he's coming back to full fitness. So God knows what we'll have when we get a fully fit Kai Havertz. And I think one other thing that I wanted to say, Tel, just before I go, is I'm so upset though that we didn't get Saka, and it's looking like it's a hip injury at the moment, is what they're saying. We don't know the length of time that he's going to be out. Obviously, the physio need to look over him, and he needs to get everything checked out. But Saka in this game would have absolutely killed it. This would have been a perfect game for him, like attacking, an open game for him where we were creating loads of chances, getting the ball to him a lot. It would have been such a great game for him, but yeah, it's unfortunate he's going to be out. I hope it's because I've seen some. I forgot the player. Maybe you'll know, or somebody in the comments will know the player that had a hip injury. I think it was last season. They were out for like 2 months with a hip injury, and I'm hoping that it's not one of those severe ones. I'm hoping that it's just a slight.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's done.
Like a precautionary situation. Which as you say, mate, it could end up being. Saad, listen, my friend, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, brother, and we're going to chat again soon. Top man.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, bro. Viewers, make sure you're liking, subscribing, and you've got the bell notification button turned on. We are sponsored today by NordVPN, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you don't have protection when you're using the internet, you're crazy. You'd use protection on a first date. Of course you would. You never know. Right? You've got to make sure you've got it because people are out there trying to take your personal data. They're trying to take your bank details. They're trying to rob you. They're trying to steal your identity. And it's so expensive if these things happen to you. It's unbelievable. On top of that, you can get things like Premier League matches, the 3 o'clock games included, for no more than $3.99 a month when you sign up to TV channels like Setanta Sports via the App Store, as long as you change your geolocation. I use either Ukraine or Moldova. You get Premier League games, the UFC. Just last week, I watched the UFC pay-per-view event. I didn't pay $29.99. I watched it for free on Setanta Sport, and I can do that on my desktop. I can then connect that to my TV, or I can watch it on my phone. All of that is doable with NordVPN. So scan that QR code up there, or click on the link in our description below. Get yourself signed up. Check it out. You get a 30-day money-back guarantee, but I guarantee you're going to like it. And just do a little bit of research into how dangerous the internet can be in terms of having your identity stolen, and you'll be straight on it. Up next, more calls. We've got Anton joining us next.
To avoid digital threats, just turn on NordVPN. Improve your protection against online trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get NordVPN.
Anton is here with us now. Oh, what have I done? I clicked on the wrong thing. There he is. Anton's here. What are you saying, mate?
It's good to see Arsenal win finally for the first time in what 3 weeks or 4 weeks since the start of the year.
In the league, yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been good. Very happy with the performance. I wanted to see more intent going forward. I wanted to see us play with more of a purpose, and we did that today. I was saying all week that I really wanted to see Havertz play in that 10 and for us to kind of drop Odegaard a little bit for his poor form, and Arteta did that. He was brave in his starting 11. It's a shame to see what happened with Saka, but I thought Madueke was really good today. And my main punchline for the day, Terry, and I heard Ash on here earlier saying that he didn't think GYOKERES is the best striker at my club. I've been having people, Terry, beg me, Anton, when are you going to join the Victor GYOKERES, slating brigade? Can you just admit to us that GYOKERES is not good enough, that he's, and I never, ever could ever subscribe to that sort of thinking. I thought it was premature. I thought it was reactionary, and he's now got 4 goals in 6 games. You mentioned earlier he'll also got 2 assists along the way. So 6 GA in 6 games, is really, really good. And I think he's starting to really warm up to this league. And I'm very happy with his performance. And a lot of fans today, Terry, are talking about how we're so reliant on set pieces. But I thought, we as you said before, because a lot of teams are just packing in the box and play scared and with fear against this team. And you saw when Leeds, and credit to them, opened up today, that we were able to kind of get at them with free-flowing attacking football. So it's good to see. I just want to see this continue moving forward. I think it's a huge thing that we put the pressure on Man City by going 7 points clear. They have to go to Spurs tomorrow, and no matter what Spurs fans say, their team, I think, is going to give them a really good run for their money, especially now that that pressure has been heaped up on them. And I want to see kind of how City responds, because I think this is a critical moment in this title race tomorrow. I think if City don't win, I think it's, the impetus is back with Arsenal again.
Well, look, the impetus is, the impetus is still with you because you're 4 points clear. But I think a response and a performance as strong as today is important. If they do drop points and they draw, say, and they make it 6 points, or they lose and it goes back to 7, what will eventually happen with City is an element of almost like defeat by attrition. God, we've had all these chances ourselves to catch Arsenal and we keep failing. You watch a match sometimes where a team has chance, and doesn't score, then they concede and they just fade. That could eventually happen to City, which is why I think today wasn't just important to win, it was the emphatic nature of it. In terms of the approach today from Mikel Arteta, it seemed a bit more direct. There were some really big changes in the starting lineup. Were you happy to see your manager have such a, I wouldn't say drastic, but really sort of take action after a bad run of form in the Premier League to really try and impact the team today?
Yeah, it's basically, I think, what I've been calling for, or what most of our fans have been calling for. I've been listening to Gooners talk all week, and there's a lot of this discussion about, Arteta has his favorites. There's no way he'll drop Odegaard, regardless of the form, and he did it. I thought that he found that combination with Havertz and GYOKERES, which is, I think for me, once you find something that gives you an extra edge or gives you something new or something fresh, you have to kind of go and do that, especially the Premier League where we are under pressure to get points, to come up with an attacking performance. I was very, very happy with the fact that he made the changes necessary. Also, you can kind of tell today, by the way, with that extra little bit of energy in the step of the players, that Kairat game, being able to rotate and have some like Gabriel and Saliba basically out of that one and have Rice and Zubimendi out of that one, you can see that the energy was back in the legs. And I think that's an underrated part that people don't really see in some of these performances, is that sometimes, we're almost 55-60% through with the season, and we've just come out the back of a very, very busy period that, they need kind of a week like that to get their energy back. And you kind of saw that today. But yeah, really happy with the changes. It's a bit, again, unfortunate that Saka came out in the warm up. I think that he'll be fine. I saw the that little highlight, whatever, that people have been going around of how he injured himself, and he's sort of like, limping a little bit, like, or I would say skipping around, like on that a little bit dramatically. But then I just think that Arteta's just been like, nah, look, Saka is too important. In past
to risk, yeah.
In past seasons, he would have played that game, I feel. And that's one of the reasons why you have Madueke. I've been screaming that from the rooftops, why we needed an alternative to him, and you see how important that is. So yeah, I'm really, really happy that he's done that. By the way, I'm happy that, again, I'll go back to GYOKERES again, that he went with GYOKERES from the start, that he's reinstalled him back in the Premier League. I think a lot of people were shouting for Jesus to get that start last week against you guys. And I was saying, look, be careful with what you wish for, because you'll see the difference when that happens. And I think Jesus was good as an impact sub today as well. It's kind of like the reverse of what you've been saying about GYOKERES, which is, GYOKERES, Jesus scored 2 goals against Inter. GYOKERES came off the bench to reply. And now GYOKERES has now scored 2 goals, not in the same game, but since then. And now Jesus has replied. So I think that's only going to benefit Arsenal.
It's great to have that competition there, no doubt. And final thing I wanted to ask you, do you feel like you're back on track now? Do you feel after the few poor weeks in the league, do you feel like today, the performance, the win, are you confident now you're going to get some more top performances in the league?
I believe so. I think so. I mean, at the moment, my thoughts are now with the Carabao Cup almost right away. Let's make sure we get into that final on Tuesday, and then we'll start thinking about the league. But yeah, I do believe that. I do think so.
Fair play. Anton, always a pleasure, my friend. I'm sure we'll chat again soon. Top man.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks,
Thank you. Realist Gooner is on with us next. What you saying, brother?
Get in there. Get in there. I'll be honest with you, Terry. I was one of the Arsenal fans. I was very concerned about this game, man. I said to myself, last 2-3 games, 2 draws, lost against Manchester United. I said I couldn't see a win. I thought we was going to draw today, Terry, if I'm being honest with you. Credit to Mikel Arteta today. When I looked at the starting line, one of my main reasons for that, I said if Odegaard starts, there's no win coming. He made the big decision, yeah? So big credit to Mikel Arteta. Brought Havertz into the midfield. I feel like Kai Havertz had a decent game. He wasn't that great. Saka got injured just before the game started, and it turned out to be a blessing, Terry. Madueke, 2 great assists, one from the corner, one crossing to Zubimendi. Zubimendi as well, righting his wrongs from last week, that mistake. Great header. That was a great goal, man. That crossing from Madueke, scintillating, and a great header from Zubimendi. So I was very, very pleased with the performance today, man, because I was coming to this game with a dark cloud over my head, Terry, if I'm being honest with you, and I just wasn't sure about where we was going with this game and how we was going to move forward in the Premier League. But a big relief, man. I'm very happy right now. And as I said, Mikel Arteta, credit to him. He got it right today, man.
1-0 West Ham. Sorry.
1-0 West Ham.
1-0 West Ham. Bowen
Lovely,
crossed it.
jubbly.
1-0 West Ham.
Chelsea rent, boys. Have that. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
That's good to see you in a good mood, mate. And I agree with you. I think your manager today, and a lot of people have said it, do you actually think there's the possibility that Man United loss could actually be a really good wake-up call for your team in this title race?
Listen, losing at home to Man United, if that don't give you a push in the right direction, what will? So it worked in terms of us losing that game. We've seen a great reaction today. It wasn't slow. It wasn't lethargic. It was fluid today. The attack was fluid today. And Victor GYOKERES got a goal, so I'm happy for Victor GYOKERES. I heard you talking previously. I'm still not convinced by Victor GYOKERES, if you're asking me for my honest opinion, but I'm hoping that he can kick on from here. Jesus comes on, bakes a man and slaps it in the bins. Well, great goal from Gabriel Jesus, but prior to him scoring, he missed like 2 chances, and I'm there shouting at my TV saying, this is why, Jesus, this is why you're not good enough. But then he goes ahead and does that. So, yeah, overall, very, very happy with the performance today. I think the defense was solid. Gabriel was monstrous at the back. Everything that was coming in the box, he was just heading it out. And you have to remember, Terry, when we was looking at Leeds coming into this game, it was like 10 games. I think they've only got 1 defeat, unbeaten in 5. Their record at Ellen Road, they don't lose no games at Ellen Road. So this was a very, very tricky game on paper, and that's why I went for a draw. So for us to go over and win the way that we won 4-0, no team's been over there and beaten them 4-0 and 5-0 at the Emirates as well. So welcome to the Premier League, Leeds United, man. Great, great win.
It certainly is. And as you say, I think it reawakens you. It's an emphatic performance. When you actually go through the numbers, it's only like your second, you might have won on New Year's Day or something, but you barely won a game in the league in January. And I think it was important. You can now go into that Chelsea game with a new era maybe of confidence. You can go into that game a little more relaxed, knowing that your league situation's in a good space. And should Spurs do you a little favour tomorrow, which is plausible, it could be a very, very good weekend indeed. Brother, always a pleasure to speak. It's great to see you happy. And we'll chat to you again soon.
Come on, you Gooners.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have, who we got on the show next? We've got Brandon coming on next.
Avoid malware-ridden files. Zen. Be more cyber zen. Get NordVPN.
Welcome, Brandon. Oh, look, it's good to see you smile. Talk to me. How happy are you right now?
Bro, we needed that. We needed that desperately. And I agree with a lot of what the other guys have said. I think full credit goes to Mikel Arteta today, you know, because one of my biggest complaints about him is, you know, the players that are on the fringes, they come in, they perform well, and then they're back on the bench. And I know Kai Havertz is a massive favourite of his. He loves Kai Havertz. But I thought his performance midweek against Kairat deserved a start today. So absolutely credit to him for doing that. Was very surprised to see Madueke start, although obviously, you know, Bukayo Saka picks up an injury. Like Anton was saying, though, you know, if this had been last season, the season before, he would have played Saka regardless of injury or not and risked him. So I think that was a sensible decision by the manager. And Madueke also stepped up today and performed, created 2 assists. he deserves full credit as well, because I was absolutely on his case midweek. You know, his performance midweek against Kairat was nowhere near the level. So, you know, he needed that as well. And yeah, a comfortable win in the end, to what could have been a very, very difficult game for us. Let's just be honest. It was...
I need to ask you a question, though, because last week you said if you win the league, it's only because everybody else is crap. Did you win today because you were good or because Leeds were crap?
No, we were good today.
Well, just checking.
100%. You know, what the manager said in the press conference prior to the Kairat game about allowing more freedom, about enjoying and expressing yourself on the pitch a lot more. I saw that today. I saw that today across the pitch, especially in the attacking areas. You know, we dominated the game from start to finish, and we was very comfortable defensively as well. Like my man said, Zubimendi makes up for his mistake last week. GYOKERES on the score sheet. You know, I know a lot of people are saying that they're not too sure about whether he's the man or not. Just keep scoring goals. That's what we brought you in for. You know, at the end of the day, you might not have the greatest touch. You might not be the striker that necessarily suits our system to a T. But as long as you're putting that ball in the back of the net, you get no questions from me, because that's what we brought him for. We didn't buy him for his first touch. We bought him for his last touch. And right now, he is our top goal scorer. So arguments can't really be had. He's scored 11 goals this season. I don't think that's a bad return in all competitions. Could be better, of course. But, you know, for a striker who's coming in, trying to adapt to the way that we play, trying to adapt to a new league, you know, I think 11 goals so far is a decent return from him.
Well, sorry, I thought West Ham were going to score again. Sorry, so I was listening to you. Now, listen, I don't disagree with a lot of what you said. I think that a lot of people have said it already in the show. That there was a response today. There was a change today. It felt like an invigorated Arsenal team as well. There didn't seem to be as many tired legs. There didn't seem to be any lethargic behaviour. It just felt a more well-rounded performance from you as a side overall. In terms of Victor GYOKERES, do you feel 6 goals and assists in his last 6 games? Do you feel that he's starting to now find his feet in the Arsenal team?
Yeah, I think so, Tel. I think so. I think that people forget that he had a lot of adapting to do, you know, not just adapting to a new league, adapting to a new way of playing, you know, because he's so used to running on the shoulder of defenders and chasing balls down. We don't play like that. You know, we're very much sort of keep the ball. You have to kind of drop deep, do the link up thing, that sort of thing, you know. So he's slowly getting there. He's getting used to it, and he's scoring goals. Then they might not be the greatest goals of all time, but you know, it's giving him confidence. Of course, you know, scoring goals, that's all your striker wants to do, is to score goals. And you're right about the energy as well. I think a big difference today, Declan Rice in that midfield, he brought back the energy again. He looked like he had a lot more energy in his legs today, and the rest has obviously done him some good, because I think in the last sort of 3 Premier League games we've really lacked that in the midfield, and Declan Rice is the only one who really can bring that to our side, and I thought he was very good again today. But like I say, full credit has to go to Mikel Arteta. This is the thing that I want to see. If a player performs midweek, I don't care who it is, even if I don't rate who they are, my opinion is irrelevant. But the point is if a player is performing, I expect to see them start the next game. And if they don't start, or if they don't play well in that game, then fair enough, put him back on the bench. But he's got to do something different now and really use his squad, because he's got a great squad available to him. There's no, you know, and the best thing about today, Tal, is we didn't just win. It wasn't like, you know, we win 2-0, but both goals come from set pieces, or, you know, one was an own goal and one was a set piece. I can sit here a little bit more relaxed now after that performance. The performance was key today as well, not just the fact that we won, but the fact that we won comfortably and we played really well.
You did.
Give us a lot more confidence.
And I think to end on that, I think you're right. But you also, in the moments where they did attack, you defended well. You didn't succumb to the pressure and the noise of the crowd, which was key. Brandon, always a pleasure, mate, to sit here and speak with you. We'll chat again after the next one, mate.
Big up, Tal.
Top man. Cheers, bro. Dayo is on with us now. What you saying, brother?
Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy, man. it's a good game. Good game. We bounced back, which is what we needed to do. I agree with a lot of things a lot of the guys have said, but I'm not even going to look at it from that perspective. For me, this is what you do when you actually have that type of loss. You have to come back and play well. Like, you just have to come back and play well. I mean, all season we've talked about how Arsenal have not been in like top gear. We've been playing in gear 1 or gear 2, finding ways to win games, set pieces here and there, own goals here and there. We've said it all, but this is the time of the season where we need to just start going ham. We played a lot faster today, which I appreciate, and I think Leeds also tried to open up, which was good for us. But I'm not going to fall into the trap of saying play like this every single game against every team, because every team is not Leeds. Every team is not Leeds. You go ham like this. You go play Kai Havertz against another Chelsea team that will not play like Leeds did today, and we could get punished. So I'm glad we have a deep squad where we can actually change players. Like what happened to Saka today. Injury to Saka, bring Nani in. I hope Saka gets well soon. But last season, if Saka got injured in the warm-up, we probably take him out of the game and we have nobody to put there. Or we force Ethan Nwaneri to go play right wing when he's actually a 10. And that's what we would have done, So I'm glad we have the squad depth. I'm glad we have a Nani Madueke to come in to at least put in some work there. Most importantly, but the team looked a lot more coherent today. One thing when I saw Kai Havertz in the lineup, I'll be honest with you, I didn't like it. I didn't like it for one reason and one reason only. I was like, look, all season, 23 games, you've won more. I like the fact that GYOKERES was there first, because we've won more games with GYOKERES starting for us this season in the Premier League than any of our strikers. So that's a consistent thing that you want to look at. Yeah, he might not be giving us all the goals, but you're winning games with him in the team. It's a team sport. Kai Havertz just got back from injury. He looked well against Kyra, but I thought, bring him in second half. But again, he did his job. Odegaard looked sharp today. So I'm glad and happy about how we played today. I just think that the Leeds game, I predicted a 2-1 win. That was my thing. I was like, look, it's away. They're going to score a goal. We score 2. We get out of there. We get the 3 points. We run away, But the lads had a different game plan today. They went in there and they went ham. They went in there and they went ham. And I was like, okay, hold on. What am I watching here? I was getting my brakes fixed. I was watching it on my phone at the workshop. I was fixing my brakes and at one point I yelled. This was Zubimendi's goal. Go! And the guys were like, what? I'm like, no, sorry. I'll go stand outside. I'm sorry, I apologize. Like, what do you watch? I'm like, I'm watching football, and they call it soccer here. So it's like, oh, soccer. I'm like, you know what? Don't worry. Anyways, but yes, we played very, very well. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy. Mikel Arteta, again, I know people are going to say all kinds of stuff about this guy, but I keep saying this. If you set a team up that takes 9 shots and there's 5 of them on target, I'm expecting these players to score at least something out of those 9. This man can set you up to put, like, what are we doing here? Saying it's his fault for certain things. But we'll look forward to the Chelsea game next. Take it one step at a time. Try to get into the final of the Carabao Cup. And then, we'll see what we can do this season,
Absolutely. Dayo, always a pleasure, mate. And we're going to chat again soon. Top man. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Viewers, make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. We've got Jason coming on with us next. Superchats says, Terry, why didn't my Satanta allow me to watch Champions League games? Go onto the website and it tells you what country has what in it. I think it's Moldova that has the Champions League in it. So you have to check which ones. There's all different. Some countries only have like 3 or 4 different sports. It's on their website though. Go and check it out. When you win, you don't make adjustments because you won. So why make changes? Then you lose. You have to make changes to get better. That's a great movie too. Yeah, look, sometimes winning can create complacency. Success can create complacency. And I think that that's something that maybe had crept a little bit into Arsenal's game, especially when you look at the start of them second halves against Liverpool and against Manchester United. There was a lack of urgency in it. And sometimes, they've come out, they've lost. It's had a lot of media attention. There's a lot of frustration. They've watched United, make the Emirates, the dance, our dance floor again. And there's got to be a response from that. It's very, very true. Jason is on with us next. But remember, people, we are today sponsored by NordVPN. So get yourself signed up now.
Chasing the best deals online? Let NordVPN protect you as you browse the internet. Go to NordVPN.com for a special deal. Install the app, connect, and enjoy secure and private browsing. Online security starts with a click.
Jason, welcome back to big result today. Talk to me about it, brother. Talk to me.
My striker. I'm telling you, this is my striker, man. Victor GYOKERES, number 14, man. He delivered again. 4 goals in 6 games. I can't lie. I'm impressed. And it's something that, you know, is needed for him. Is needed for his confidence as well when he came off the bench against Inter, scored in the midweek on Wednesday, and now, you know, he's getting his goal out of Leeds as well. Yes, he got a lot of stick, but then again, I've always believed in this guy. This guy who can deliver here and there. Yeah, I'm not the type of person who have patience here and there, but what he did for sport translating to the Premier League takes a lot of time as well. And what a performance from him, and what a performance from the team as well. And, you know, from start to finish, from minute 1, you know what? I can't complain. I can't say much. It's one of those things. And this is the response that I actually wanted after the United game. Yes, I was about to come on from the terrace last week, but didn't have the time to. But what a response. And looking at Mikel Arteta's press conference as well, he's saying that, you know, he basically kind of called out Martin Odegaard, you know, like, you know, to press forward, you know. I know of his performance as well. He's not performing really well. He got put to the bench. And I feel like I rated Mikel Arteta's ruthlessness today as well. And you know what? Fair play to Mikel Arteta. He's spot on. And I can't really complain. And the defense was really solidified as well. Going to Ellen Road is not easy, because you know what, you guys, they Leeds drew to United, they beat Chelsea, drew to Liverpool twice, and they seem like a serious team itself. And the last 10 games they only lost once, and we just put them to the sword. And you know what? What a response! And I want this happening, like, you know, for the next game against Chelsea in the semi-finals. And you know, long may it continue. That's all I can say. That's what it is.
Mate, I hear you. Listen, I'm someone that didn't. A lot of people were telling me to say, you know, GYOKERES is a complete flop, and I said, look, I'm giving the man time still. Is he? I don't ever think he's going to be Harry Kane. I don't ever think he's going to be Wayne Rooney in terms of overall quality of a footballer. But there is a player in there that can score goals, like he did today, like against Inter Milan, like the week. Sometimes they're going to be tap-ins, like against Chelsea, and it's more about getting that ball into him. And I still think it's 12 goals for you this season. He, for me, could be a player that over the next 2 to 3 seasons can get you 20 to 25 goals across all competitions. And at 50 odd million that you spent on him, that's a decent return of investment. And I feel that it's other players that have also lacked in that attack that have taken away from him. So I'm glad for him individually that he's doing well now. Jason, though, always a pleasure, mate, to talk.
One more thing, Terry. And I just want to say a big up Nonny, by the way, I was in his case as well for delivering that 2 assists as well. And I just need from him a little bit more goals, because, you know, he hasn't delivered the goal scoring aspects of it, but needs more of that. But that's all I can say. Big up.
I hear you there, bro. Jason, always a pleasure, mate, and we'll speak again soon. Top man. Always. Thank you, Jason. Viewers, listen, like, share, and subscribe. This is going to redirect you now to Don Hussam's watch along for Chelsea West Ham. So please all go across there. We're live after that game for another match reaction. We're live for all the match reactions today. So I can't wait to see you all later. I know you might not be a Chelsea, West Ham, Liverpool, or Newcastle fan, but please come back. Please come back and support the channel. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and we're going to see you all again very, very soon. Peace.